Good morning. How are you? How's everyone? Um, Hello to my friend Echo, who I know had better be watching this. And also to mention that, yes, I do have pants on today. Um, the funny thing is, these are sort of like my at-home, I don't know, loungewear, pajamas, what do you want to call it? Um, but I put them away last night because it kind of got a bit warm, and I was gonna put on like a shorts set for today instead. And I woke up this morning and it was like 16 degrees, and it was like, oh, it's a little bit chilly. So anyway, I pulled them back out, and so I have pants on. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing today, to be honest. I was gonna do like put on some makeup, chat, and just I think just do a easy classic makeup look, which is what I kind of normally would do, either as an easy everyday look, or if I am in a hurry and I want something that I know works and looks good on me. And also what I call pretty much a classic Deanna look with a similar set of products that I use almost all the time. So that's kind of where I'm at. Nothing is new because I'm not that kind of person, and I'm not that kind of a channel where I'm trying new stuff all the time. And I kind of like to stick to things that I know work if I need a go-to sort of something. And I can show you what I'm using anyway as I go. Okay, so to start, I found a cap on my dressing table last night, and I was like, where is that from? It's from my primer, so I need to pull that back out because I chucked it in the recycling bin. This is my No Problem primer. It's Korean. I've been using it for a while because I only have about that much left, and I do quite like it. I started using it and then I just kept using it, so I must have liked it. Otherwise, I tend to like bounce around a little bit with my primer. Actually, before I continue, I'm going to just put on some lip balm because I've been testing out my matte liquid lipsticks recently with the intention of deciding what I will keep, what I will declutter, and things like that. And so 3 days of doing that, and my lips are not happy. I woke up this morning, they were dry, they were cracked, they were bleeding. So I don't think matte liquid lipsticks are for me. I used to be able to handle them, but not anymore. So anyway, primer. And I'm not doing foundation today because when I'm in a hurry, I don't bother with foundation because it requires, what's that thing called? It requires talc, Deanna, talc. It requires wetting the sponge, and it's just a lot more work and effort. And if I do want to look, flawless, so I should have said I've already done my skincare. So this is bare face. And I just need to flip the mirror over so I can see myself. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking into the mirror. So what I'm trying to do at the moment is use this up, which is my L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. It's a great powder. As you can see, I've hit pan and it's all cracked because it fell apart. And then I had to repress it. And it's kind of a faff. So... and I like it. It's a really nice powder foundation. But it's just not, as you can see, it can cover well. But I'm just not, I didn't like the fact that it cracked. And I really want to use it up. I really, really do. And I know I could have just got rid of it because, I'm almost done, but I like it. I don't want to waste it. And, you know, even though it's drugstore, it's not cheap here in Australia. I got it on sale, and I think I might have gotten for 30, anywhere between 30 and 50% off, and it was still like $18. Sorry, powder foundation. It's just taken down the shine a bit and evened everything out a little bit. So my next step is usually my eyebrows. And I want to say that I am quite happy with how my eyebrows have turned out. A year and a bit ago, I was in Cambodia and I had my eyebrows tattooed and filled in or microbladed or whatever it was they did. But because I wasn't there long enough, I couldn't go back for a touch-up, and it was never quite exactly where I wanted it to be. And then this stuff happened last year, and, you know, I didn't really do much when I was sick and blah, blah, blah. And really, I've only sort of started paying attention to my eyebrows a couple of months ago, and I started back on the brow serums and things like that. And now, along with the serums and tinting them regularly, this is what my brows look like without any help. There's a spot here that just needs a little bit of filling in because that's where they reshaped my brow, and there's no, like, absolutely no brown hairs whatsoever. So that's right there. And I notice it. It's a me thing, okay? And then down here, I've been growing it out, and it's looking pretty good. It's getting there. It's getting there. I need to brush through my brows a little bit. That's the thing with skincare, is it can get the brows a bit goopy. And then you put powder on top of it, and if there's foundation, it's even worse. It's even goopier. So, oh, there we go. So I can actually, if I don't want to do more, I can actually stop here. And there's just this tiny little bit on the corner there. It just needs to be filling in. These brows are freshly tinted as of a few days ago too, so they really don't need much at all. If I'm like 2 weeks in, it fades and it gets a little bit lighter. But this bit here is very unruly, so I usually like to put a little bit of brow gel on it. At the moment I'm using the Anastatia brow freeze gel, and I have never found a brow gel that works on my very, very unruly, stubborn brows. And this seems to be working. So I put it on a little spoolie because it gets very goopy otherwise if you use it straight off the straight out of the tube. So I just take a little bit of it, and it really does do, this does really do a good job of just holding the brows in, and you don't need a lot. So yeah, brows are done. And next is eyeshadow primer. I depot a lot of stuff, so you will quite often see things that don't look like they're from their original packaging. This is a very old tube of the Too Faced eyeshadow insurance, the ones that come in the little blue tube. But I didn't like the way the tube worked, so I squeezed everything out into this little old gel eyeliner pot. And I like the way that works a lot better. I just use an old Real Techniques crease brush. You can tell it's old because it's got that old packaging. And this is absolutely fantastic as a brush for that. And then I just kind of By the way, this jar is going to take me absolutely forever to use up because I've been at this for 4 months, 3 months, 4 months, and I've barely made a dent in it. And I use this every day, or, you know, every day that I do my eyeshadow, which is most days, even if it's just like a really, you know, simple one shadow look. And this does work. It's actually pretty good. And I think for eyes today, I'm going to pull out my oldie but goodie NYX, what's this one called? Wanderlust, the go-to palette. And it's very well loved. I use it when I travel. It's discontinued, so I don't think it's even available to be purchased anymore. But like I said, I'm not the go out and buy the latest and greatest and all that sort of thing. Although I have to admit, I did buy the Natasha Denona Glam palette recently when Sephora had a 20% off sale. Grab a brush. I'm going to use this shade. I love this shade. It's kind of like my perfect neutral brown shade that is slightly warm, not too cool, not too warm. It's got a hint of rosiness to it. And anyway, my eyes, I always do it this way. I attended a makeup class by a professional makeup artist a long time ago, and he looked at my eye shape and said, this is all you need to do because of your eye shape. And you know what? He's right. So I don't do anything fancy, and I don't do the outer corner, and part of it is also because I'm lazy. And then I blend with this color here, and that just gives it a little bit of warmth. And that's pretty much my go-to eye look and an eyeliner. And at the moment I'm using a very old Essence, is it Essence? Yes, a very old Essence gel eyeliner, which is kind of dried out but still works. But this is it. This is all I really do with my eyes. And then depending on what I'm doing, if I'm going out, if I'm feeling fancy, you know, that brown base, I can, you know, do it with a shimmer, do it with a glitter, and kind of just jazz it up. But that's pretty much all I do. And I'm talking now, so I'm taking absolutely forever. And I'm not in a hurry, and I'm not going anywhere, so you know, I'm taking a little bit of extra time to blend this really well. But normally I can throw this on really fast, and I can do my whole face in a pinch if I have to. I can do my whole face and be fully made up in, I want to say 7 to 10 minutes. But don't let hubby hear me say that, because he'll just laugh. I'm very slow when it comes to getting ready because I like to take my time. So that's the eyes. And then eyeliner, gel eyeliner. I don't actually even know. You know, if you're here for me to recommend products and brand new products, I don't have any. And I'm kind of on this, I want to use what I have and declutter what's old and not used kick. So I'm on this, and you can see it's kind of like shrunk from the edges. And I'm just doing my eyeliner, which is just a simple line across. I don't always do this. If I know I'm going to be out all day, and I don't want any smudging, because it doesn't matter what kind of eyeliner I use, they will eventually transfer down into my lower lash line. Then I just skip eyeliner. But since I'm working from home today and I'm not doing anything, I will do the eyeliner because I do like the way my eyes look with eyeliner. And I've tried so many different kinds of eyeliners. I have very, very watery eyes. And it's hard for eyeliner to stay on. I don't know why. I want to say it wasn't a problem before, like when I was younger. But as I've gotten older, I have noticed that my eyeliner has tended to smudge more. Because I'm trying to think back, and mind you, this is a long time ago. I'm trying to think back like 15 years ago, and I don't remember having the problem of thinking all my eyeliners smudge on me. Okay. That will do. Okay. Depending on how energetic I'm feeling or how fancy I'm feeling, I will do a little bit of contouring. If I do contouring, at the moment I'm working my way through my NYX. It's actually a blush. It's a high definition blush. And if you've been around long enough, you will know this or have used this. But it's the NYX high definition blush in Taupe, and it is a beautiful contour color. It's also very hard to open. I don't know why they've designed it this way. And look, I have a little teeny tiny bit of pan. I hit pan. I'm so proud. But what I do is I take this and I do a very lazy contour these days. I was doing that whole skull, cream contour thing at one point, but that takes effort and time, and it usually is something I do only if I have foundation on underneath, because then it kind of all blends a lot better. But look at that. Isn't that such a pretty shadow? And I'm not making, honestly, I'm not being terribly precise about this. I'm just kind of slapping it on, because I do have one finishing step in the end, which kind of really helps blend it all together. I know it's no secret. It's just something that, in my old age I've discovered. And it's like, how have I not known this before? It's making such a difference. I'm sure the makeup artists are just laughing at me now because, it's kind of like, oh, they've known it all the time. But anyway, it's a little bit of contour underneath the chin to just give it a little definition. I don't have much of a jawline. I would really like to have a jawline here, but no, I don't have a jawline. So I have to make one. So that's if I'm feeling fancy, if I have time. My go-to blush, and this is an oldie and a goodie, is the Nars Orgasm blush. And look how old mine is. I've had to clean it a few times, because those of you who have used the Nars packaging know that it gets like really sticky after a while. And it's broken. And it's very, very old. But I know a lot of people get bored and go, oh no, another Nars Orgasm, whatever. But I kid you not, this blush is perfection on me. And I can just throw it on. I don't need a highlighter because it's got a little bit of glow in it. And I know it's going to look good on me. And look, I'm not being terribly accurate or putting much effort into this, right? I'm just kind of like whacking it on. And this is it. And this is my blush. And if I'm in a hurry, I want something I know it's going to look good. I don't want to be fancy and I don't want to faff around. this is what I do. And I just whack it on. Now, one thing that I have discovered that has really changed my makeup game is a finishing powder all over the face. And I've heard people talk about it over the years, and I've always like, how do you do it? And what and why? And I don't know. But anyway, so a while ago, I'm reaching over here, I pulled out my Hourglass ambient lighting powder in ethereal light, and they've discontinued this color, the buggers. It's very pale, but it's the only shade that actually works on me. Everything else is too dark, and etc. They now have, I think, diffused light, which has replaced it, and I've got a tiny little mini to try, and it works. So I think I'm okay if this ever runs out, but it's gigantic and it takes forever to use. But a finishing powder, and I never kind of used this much, and I never really knew how to use it. But recently, I've just started just using a big fluffy brush like this and dipping it in and just dusting it all over my face. And it's like, holy cow, my face looks so blurred, so airbrushed, so smooth. And I can really tell in photos of before and after, with and without sort of this finishing powder touch. And and it also blends everything together. So, you know, I wasn't terribly careful, you know, with all the blush and the bronzer and the contour and everything. I can just throw it on, because this step will blend everything together and make it all really seamless. At the moment, actually, I am using up my Guerlain Meteorites. I've put them in this container because I didn't like the original container. And I've had this forever. Hubby bought this for me on one of his travels from duty free at some point. And anyway, so I've decided to use it up. And somebody I watch on YouTube, is it Tara Baby Z? She really likes this. So I just, you know, dip it in my brush in, and I literally just go over my entire face. But you see how that's kind of just blended everything in? And I'm not terribly careful either. I'm just, you know, but this step, basically all the lines just disappear. And I go in a little heavier with the blush, with the contour and everything. And so I still am left with the color, but then everything looks blended and natural. And then if I think my blush looks a little bit washed out, I just kind of, whatever's left, I don't take any extra. I just do that a little bit just to add a hint of color back into it, and it still looks very blended and very natural. And that's it. That's kind of the makeup look, which, if I'm not talking, takes a lot less time. And then I blot, and my go-to lipstick is a glossy lip stain from Colourpop, which I have only about that much left. And of course, in true Colourpop fashion, they have discontinued this color. It's called the Glory, and I am going to be in a lot of trouble when this is gone, because I love this formula. It doesn't dry up my lips, but it still leaves a bit of a stain, so it looks very pretty. And it's kind of like my go-to everyday red lip. And I love the color. It's hydrating. It lasts. It doesn't transfer. For those of you who know me in real life, every time you see me rocking a red lip, chances are it's this. I do have a few Korean ones I found that might come close. So once this is done, I'll start on those, but I'll probably depot those and stick them in this particular tube because I really like this packaging. And so yes, that's me for today. I do have pants on. And this is pretty much what I will tell my mom is a classic Deanna look with, you know, just a everyday look that's easy. I know it works. I know all the products work, so I don't have to think about it, and it just all goes on. And I'm not recommending products because, you know, products will be different for everybody, and everybody will have their own set of products that make up their everyday signature look, depending on their skin tone, depending on their complexion, depending on their skin type, all of that kind of stuff. Especially if, you know, say you were a cooler skin tone and you look better in mauves or in pinks, or if you look better in, you know, deeper colors, all that kind of thing. I have a girlfriend who had her colors done, and it turns out that she does look a lot better in like mauves and bright pinks and things like that. So, you know, this look is not going to work for her, and these colors are not going to work for her because it will make her look very like sallow and yellow and like she's not being well. But you put a mauve or a pink lipstick on her and her whole face brightens up and she looks amazing. So, you know, it's kind of like, it just depends on who looks how in what color. And the products will change for that. So anyway, that's 27 minutes. I think I've talked enough and long enough, but I was kind of just in the mood to get ready and have a bit of a chat. So I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.